Something I don't think gets talked about very often is our inability to actually let our kids grow via just doing things. I guess I speak from this because I have two different generations of children. I have a 20-year-old and a 17-year-old. I also have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I can see the vast differences in how I'm raising both of them simply by just having them do things that I would not have my older kids do. I often think that maybe I failed my older kids in some way. I'm determined to not have the same mistakes with my younger kids. Here's what I mean by that. I did too much for them. I allowed them to not actually do things when I should have allowed them to do things. Whenever they had a situation that, for example, I felt like I could just do very quickly, I would just do it for them instead of allowing them the space to make the mistake and actually solve and work the problem on their own. Over time, I actually learned that no, I should not do this. I should allow the kids to actually just make mistakes on their own and work the problem. So with my younger kids, I'm allowing them to make the mistakes that they need to make in order to work a problem. Here's a simple example. I failed at teaching my 17-year-old daughter how to cook. I failed at doing this with my 21-year-old as well. That's because I didn't involve them really in actually the cooking process. They would see me cook. They would see maybe their mom cook, but they didn't actually get involved in the process. With my younger ones, they're involved in baking, they're involved in cooking at times, and they are actually involved in the actual cooking process, allowing them to actually learn that very easy life skill early on. I think very often as parents, what we end up doing is more harm than good when we want to just jump in and help our kid. You see them struggling with this one thing and you're like, oh, 1 + 1 equals 2, like just basically giving them the answer, as opposed to just having them work it out. Tell them, work it out, step back, watch. When we do these things, we're actually robbing our kids of the ability to problem solve, which is a great life skill to learn later on as well. This isn't a knock on my older kids. It's not that they're bad at all. In fact, they're amazing kids. They're amazing adults even. But I learned this simple thing so much later in their little lives that I should have actually done it much, much sooner. Here, I'll give you another example. I'm building stuff with my daughter now when she's older, but I never did this when she was little. I never did this with my son either until he was a little bit older and I started recognizing my mistake. With my little ones though, my 2 and 4-year-old, I get them involved very early on in things. Oh, daddy's gonna go take out the trash. Come with me, let's take out the trash. Oh, daddy's building something. Let's go ahead and help daddy together. They actually end up involving themselves more because they want to spend the time with me, but also they kind of think it's fun. Something as simple as just taking out the trash. They want to be involved and they want to take it out. That's something that I never did with my older kids. Another example, just recently, I'm fixing one of the toys for my kids and I needed to use a screwdriver. Immediately, my daughter said, can I do it? Absolutely. I gave her the screwdriver and just had her twist it, something that I never did with my 17-year-old daughter when she was little. This is at the age of 2 with my little one, and the 4-year-old does it as well. I didn't do this with her. And for that, all I can say is, I'm sorry. I should have recognized that as a father earlier on to be able to give you those little tiny life skills that I figured I could just be there to help you with. Because the reality is you're just not going to be there all the time. You have to teach your kids to do things for themselves because otherwise they just become wholly dependent on you forever. And you don't want that. And that does not mean that my kids are wholly dependent on me. Again, I've recognized this problem earlier on, just a little bit later than I would have liked, to truly give them those additional life skills that I think are so vital. So for that, that's my warning to all you parents. Don't just jump at the first thing that your kid has a struggle with. Let them work the problem. Let them struggle a little bit. Jump in if you need to, absolutely, and if their life is in danger. But otherwise, let them try to work the problem. Kids are very, very good at figuring out problems. You just have to let them. At least that's my POV as a dad, because